There must have been a time, though, when they did come into the house. Mum told me that one day, when she was barely 10 and Grandpa Louis, her dad, still living with them, she had walked in on her mother and found her with one of the hippie gardeners on the dark Chesterfield that is in the study still. I find this story hard to believe, since Grandma Lillian is not the type who would sit on a couch with any hippie gardener, but that is exactly what Mum told me. This must have been the early 70s, the time her dad began to fight the Civil War in earnest instead of fighting the genie in the bottle. When put in context with the skinny dipping in the pond and the dope smoking among the runner beans, I can see what may have given Grandma the idea that theirs was a wilder, carefree life. But even if she did sit with a hippie on the couch, it may not have been about getting whatever she was not getting from Grandpa Louis. It may have been nothing at all, since she did nothing to hide her tracks, seeing the hippie in broad daylight, doors open, on the downstairs couch, her oldest daughter due back from school, the younger one not even old enough to go. Yet Mom swears they were doing it when she came in. Doing what? I asked back before I could check myself. I hated for her to use that kind of talk. Made up or not, the story of the steamy encounter in the study would explain why Mom was wary of the gardeners and eyed them like someone watching lunatics for signs of sanity. She would never go out there until they left, would sometimes wait until past dark, so late it was almost time for the rest of us to get up. Come night, she would freely roam the premises, down to the hippie lettuces and chards. I used to see her walking in the garden and over on the road by starlight. No hurry in her gait, mostly when she would just come out of her dark room. Inside, she would forget what time it was, as in a sanctuary from the clock-paced world. Emerging into reality from dark to dark, and savouring the moment may have made it easier to return from the fairyland of her silver salt creations. Skies here are starry like the deserts, and Grandma always says that ours is a desert climate. She will point at blue oaks and the live oak as if that settled it. Mum thought the stars a comfort to look at, and she would stand there looking until she got a crick in her neck, before she would tire of these windy lights and mount the creaky stairs to where our rooms are on the upper floor. Then she would pace back and forth next door and like as not go back downstairs. She did not seem to need to sleep for more than a couple of hours or 3. Sometimes her skin would break out from lack of sleep. The desk light in her room would burn all night. Her favourite lighting, though, was the blue twilight before dawn. Sometimes, when prints and poisons failed her in her dark room in the barn, she would come back in to putter in the kitchen, doing the dishes and the ironing and undoing the order of things in that no-man's land between night and day. Mornings you would sometimes find freshly ironed shirts in the refrigerator, crisp and cool, put there for God knows what reason. Perhaps Mom thought it was the wardrobe, but a wardrobe that lights up inside when you open it? I don't know. Coming down for breakfast, we would find things in vases on the kitchen table that must have looked just lovely in the silver moonlight. Bouquet of toyon berries and chamisa, or cobwebbed cockleburs and leathery yerba center, velvety mullein leaves. Comparable to pretty vampires, the night bestowed upon these plants a sense of beauty lost on daytime creatures such as Grandma or myself. Some nights Mum would play the piano softly, as if to gentle us back into the very sleep she had disturbed by striking her nocturnal chords. She was not doing any piano playing, though, the night she died. She did not come back until way late had turned into way early, and when she did return, she may have roamed the lightless house for hours. No way to tell. She did set up a tripod to take pictures. She does seem to have tripped over her gear. There is a very real chance it was an accident. The sheriff and the folks he brought, the coroner and the mortician, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, all seemed to want to think so. But how? How could that be? I had a hunch they were just trying to minimize their trouble and to abandon us to ours, out of deference to some rustic protocol I had not known about and that ignored things that were not supposed to happen in the country, city things sinful and as contagious as the smallpox. Things like taking your clothes off, things like taking pictures of those who have taken their clothes off, things like taking your life. Not that we minded seeing them leave. How much of an accident, though, can it be if you set up and fall into a mirror in the dead of night? Not having slept a wink and having driven all over hell and back, when twice you tried to do yourself in. With me just one door down, she never even hollered, so I do not know. I am not saying she died of her own hand, but there is neither certainty nor comfort in failing to say so.